Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please. Carol.
Mayor Sheets.
Present.
Greg Miller is absent. Megan Sheets.
Present.
Okay, we have the minutes from the January 22nd, 2024 regular meeting.
Yeah, I'll make the motion that we approve the minutes of January 22nd.
I'll second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, next we have the claims that were presented to us by the Clerk Treasurer's Office for this week.
Yes, I'll make the motion that we approve the claims submitted by Clerk Treasurer Bartley.
I'll second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, next we have public comments. Were there any public comments? Okay. Okay, next we'll do the department reports. Matt, I think we'll go ahead and start with you.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello.
It's good to be back. Just going to quickly go over one of the reports that we was obviously getting approval for, and that was the air bottles that we purchased. Just wanted to let everybody know on the board that, you know, when we started this inventory list, and we did that, started this about 6 months ago, and started going through things, we found a lot of discrepancies. And a lot of that is we actually had 29 bottles that are expired. So we wanted to get those replaced, and obviously, I think Carol probably furnished that to you this past week about the claim to get the air bottles for $8,450. These are used bottles that we're getting. They're mostly 1 to 2 years old, and so the life expectancy of an air bottle right now for us, or not for us, but for everybody in the country, is 15 years. So this is going to help us tremendously, and we're going to have to look at our budget a little bit more to see about some more air bottles that we're probably going to have to be purchasing, hopefully here in the future. So I want to get your approval to go ahead and,
That'd be great. Go ahead.
Is Johnson Township paying for them then, or? Okay. We're not going to run the money through here at all, then they're going to,
correct.
Okay.
We'll run it through just as a claim, because they're already part of our vendor list. Johnson Township is, because they handle a lot of the Fire 1 and 2 classes.
okay.
So they're already
Okay.
part of that vendor list.
Okay, sounds good.
So just really wanted to bring it to the board and make sure we had the approval to do that.
Okay.
And in the long run, I think, if I recall, Chief, you shared with me that, and I just think it's worth noting that this is almost half the expense of what they would have been had they not been only 1 or 2 years old.
Correct.
Which I think is a great savings for us.
And it is. New bottles right now, with the estimates that I've received, we're anywhere from about $1,200 to $1,600 per bottle. And obviously, we were short about 29 bottles. The good news is that last year, we was able to buy 5 new air packs, which came with double the bottles. So we got 5 air packs, but 10 bottles. So we've got basically a discrepancy now of about 9 bottles that we're really short from our old inventory.
Okay.
So we will be working on, like I said, getting that put together and figured out another new plan for it.
Okay.
I'll make the motion, we approve the payment of the invoice for the air bottles in the amount of $8,450.
I'll second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, you have approval.
Very good. And the last thing I have is the swearing in of our newest firefighter, Aaron Russell. He is from Clinton Central. You want to go ahead and step up here a minute? He's from Clinton Central. He's been a volunteer at Michigan Town Fire Department. He's got Fire 1 and 2. He's got a hazmat, confined space, and awareness already. And he's highly ranked in our process. And I'd like to get the board's approval to hire Aaron Russell as the newest firefighter at the Frankfort Fire Department.
Well, it's nice to meet you this evening, Aaron, and I would like to offer that motion that we accept Aaron Russell as our newest firefighter for the city of Frankfort.
And I'll second that motion. Welcome to the Frankfort Fire Department. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, you've been approved.
Now I'd like to do the swearing in for you.
Okay.
if you could.
I, Aaron Russell. Do solemnly swear. That I will support. The Constitution. Of the United States of America. And the Constitution. Of the State of Indiana. That I will faithfully. Impartially. And honestly. Discharge the duties. Of my office. As firefighter. According to law. And to the best of my ability. So help me God. Congratulations. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. He's a cutie. I'm taking, Matt got everything taken care of. Okay, Police Department, Chief Shoemaker.
Good evening. The only thing that we have on the agenda is the student intern. Job descriptions required for accreditation. We have job descriptions for everybody but that position. It's an unpaid position that we use once or twice a year, so that's just before you, clearly stating it's an unpaid position, but it has some potential, depending on the student's interests in the future. Maybe like our last intern had done some surveys on mental health and officer safety and whatnot, and did ride-alongs and also maybe some minor clerical work. So we just need to put that on the books.
I'll make the motion, we approve the position or the job description for the college student internship program, the non-paid position.
I'll second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, you have approval.
Thank you, and then I have no department report for you tonight.
Nothing?
I yield my time to the street department.
Jason, I'm sorry. Okay, Jason, you're next. Jason Forsyth, Street Department Superintendent.
Nice to me, isn't he? I only have a couple things, Mayor. The one thing I had on the agenda is there's an alley on Main Street just south of Morrison, near the old, what I call Dick Langston's old office there, and the newly renovated apartments there on Main Street on the west side of the road. We got a call from one of the people that live there in the lower level apartment. Actually, I knew it was there, but I had totally forgotten. But there is a entrance to a alleyway, what we used to call an alleyway, that goes into her single-car garage space. And then also, Wampler's has a dumpster back there that they have to have access to empty the trash. I think they do it once or twice a week. So, but the problem is there's 3 parking places that run curb to curb there at the new approach, and there's actually approach that was put in as well with when the new sidewalks were put in to get to that garage access. But we need to block off those 3 parking places and have someone paint a no parking area right there to make sure that alley or drive, I guess you could say almost, is accessible to the people that need to use it. So just looking for the Board of Works' approval to do that, and I can get that squared away. It's a couple $100 to do that, so we'll get that squared away and get that done if that's okay.
I went down by there the other day, and I think that's the only solution, don't you, is just to remove those 3 parking spots. We have to be able to allow access back in there to that garage along with the trash pickup.
Well,
so.
and just so everyone knows, one of the things that concerned me is when I was down there, probably a couple days just before you were, there was an old couch that was laying down next to the dumpster, and the dumpster was kind of overflowing, and I'm thinking it's because they didn't have access to it. So it's a nice new area. We don't want that cluttered up with trash and things, so we obviously had to have access to that, and for the individual that lives there to have access to her parking area. So.
I'll offer the motion then that we approve the alley that Street Superintendent Forsyth is referencing, that the 3 parking spaces currently there be tended to remove those from parking and have no parking designation.
I'll second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay.
Mayor, I did also check with Main Street and let them know what we were going to need to do there, and talk to Kim Stevens and Joe Palmer about it, and let them know the concerns we had. So they were aware of that too. I just want to make sure that they knew we were going to lose some parking spots.
So you'll just paint that probably to
Yeah.
let people
Yeah,
know. Okay.
it'll look nice. It'll show them that there's no parking. It won't be. It'll look good.
Okay, thank you, Jason.
Just a couple department updates. I spoke with TAPCO today. Greg and Megan had brought up obviously the sign at Washington Avenue and MASH. It's been not blinking for a while. Finally was able to make contact, and they are going to send us a controller, which is a very important piece to that sign for that to work. And so we can get that replaced, and they said that sounds like what it'll be able to fix all that. And this is at no cost. They're not charging us anything for those, so that was nice.
Good.
And then the 2 on Mash Road, as you're going south, one at Wilshire, the other one at Haven, have a light out in them. We've had them go out in the past, but they're sending us 2 LED kits for those. So basically what they do is just replace the whole entire lighting area in there. It's not just one light at a time, so they'll all be replaced. Even though there's only one that's down, they'll all be replaced. So as soon as we get those, the guys will get those in, and hopefully the one at MASH and Washington Avenue will be back up and running correctly. So, but I was trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's pretty much all I had. And I appreciate Alicia and everybody's help on the above ground. We had that come up for code enforcement involving the parking at the above ground garage. We've had people up there parking without a permit. We were able to figure out how to get a sign as you enter into the above ground on the, I guess it'd be the north side of the drive into the above ground. We got a locate done on that. We're waiting for that to come in, and we'll place a sign up there with a no parking or violators will be towed sign that'll be placed there. Still looking to see what we can do up inside the garage with another sign. That concrete has evidently got some reinforcement in there because we tried to drill into it to put a sign up there, and we weren't able to do that. But as soon as that locate's done and everything, we'll get up there and get that sign in. And Alicia it took some time. We talked, and she said that would be sufficient to help in whatever she may need or in regards to parking. So,
Okay, sounds good.
okay, thanks.
Thank you, Jason. Okay, Don Stock, Building Services.
Good evening, members. Now that I know about a trash container that needs to have a fence around it, I'll be making contact with the owner of that property to make sure that that was getting closed. I want to present the permits for January. Here's Greg. So you can see we had a very slow month of January. Only 20 permits were given out. Most of them were 30-day electrical at 6, and the rest were some remodeling, commercial renovations, and residential remodels. When you look at the total estimated tax assessments that are for January is over $4 million on 20 permits. Most of that is the Farmers Bank on their remodeling that they're getting ready to do at their store uptown. But as you can see, we only collected less than $2,000. In 23, we did $23.95, and in 22, we did $38.72, and in January of 2021, over $18,000 worth. So a little slow in January, but pretty much anticipated that. I got a couple things to clean up before we get into some of the things going on. As we start to get our office ready for whenever the new building inspector comes in, on Bud's computer, there were 3 permits that he wanted to bring before you to see about waiving the fees, and I'm hoping that we're going to do that because I think these projects are already completed. They're basically, excuse me, they're basically the sidewalks that are by the fire departments, by Station 2 and 3, I believe it is. Or no, maybe it's 1, the headquarters. And I think that's what all 3 of them are. No, one is the Grace Baptist Church remodel to see about waiving those permits.
Okay, so the 2 sidewalks and the one.
Yeah, the 2 sidewalks for the fire department and the Grace Baptist remodel.
So fees were not collected.
They were not.
Okay, retroactively approving this. Okay. I'll make the motion that we approve the fee waiver for the fire department, sidewalk projects, and Grace Baptist Church.
I'll second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
This evening, we're here to bring before you the construction plan for the Meadowbrook subdivision. Clem Coons and Marshall Felburn are here from VNS for any questions. I have a very larger drawing of the construction plans in front of me. I'll read through what the ordinance is requiring. The construction plans must be filed prior to the start of any work and shall meet the standards of UDO Section 70207, and they do meet those standards. Construction plans may be submitted in phases to coincide with the approval of the subdivision in phases. The subdivision administrator shall specify the number of sets the plan needs based upon the Plan Commission rules. The subdivision administrator shall immediately refer these plans to the appropriate technical review committee. We have done that, and I'm going to give you all of their responses from the utility services that show that everything has been completed. Once these review agencies indicate their approval of the construction plans, or 14 working days after, and we're not quite at 14, we're close, but they've all been approved, then it's up to the subdivision administrator to put his stamp on and approve the plans. Let me get all those out here. The first plan is, this is from the utility sewer department, the sanitary sewer. Second will be from the electrical utilities, Mr. Phil Farrell. This was P.J. Whitaker. And then the third one will be water, which is Chase Thompson. As you can see, there were some questions that were raised by both the sanitary sewer and by the electricity, Phil Farrell. All of those have been taken care of and have been passed by both department heads. On Chase's, he had a survey that he thought to ensure, but in talking with Todd and then getting a referral back, they are fine with all the plans from the waterworks also, so that all of those have been resolved. The fire hydrants have been passed by Kevin Catron. I know that one of his concerns was that at each cul-de-sac, end of each cul-de-sac, there was a hydrant, and they're there for the ability to flush out the lines and take air out of the lines if necessary. But that's what they're there for. So all the utility plans, all the water or fire department requirements have all been met. The next thing in line will be the erosion control plan. I believe that in your package, you have two different plans. Let's first, since we're in Meadowbrook, let's do the Meadowbrook erosion control plan. I talked to Alicia about this because, you know, I go through my stormwater book and there's absolutely no documentation that gets signed by anybody, but it says that the Board of Works must approve the erosion control plan. And so what you have for this is a letter from Westlers. They oversee the project for us. That's Mary from Westlers, Mary Atkins. And the letter basically will tell you what all was okayed. And then in the Meadowbrook subdivision, there is a variance that has to be approved. And that variance is a variance to forgive the sediment forebay and the pretreatment of the water going into, I believe, the pond. Is that right, Clem? And so to forgive those two things, they're required now to do, at the end of construction, the pond to be dredged to the design depth to remove materials and sediments that accumulate during construction. And the O&M manual must include detailed information regarding pond dredging as a maintenance activity. I'm going to stop there. Clem, if you want to come up or Marshall, and talk about those two things.
Hello, everyone. So yes, the city ordinance as it's written does have a requirement for a sediment forebay, which is essentially a miniature pond in front of a pond. The intention of that, historically, they didn't exist at all. And then we come into the stormwater quality world in the last 10, 15 years. And one of the methods that came up was this idea of a pond before a pond, which is a sediment forebay. That is actually the only thing written into the ordinance. There are no other alternatives. In all the jurisdictions that I've worked in, this is the only one that has that as their only option. And as we looked at this and we talked with Wessler initially, they said they could back us up on that. Then they changed different reviewers. And unfortunately, they started asking, why don't we have a sediment forebay? So we went through the process of analyzing and quantifying how much sediment would accumulate based on the type of development and how much volume that would occupy in the pond. And we were able to show them that approximately every 30 years, there would be enough sediment accumulation to occupy 10% of the wet pond volume. And so with those numbers, they were willing to say, okay, we can buy that. However, we need some way to measure and track that. And so proposed in the O&M manual that actually has already been submitted, right, has at the end of construction, we would do a bathymetric survey to see how much sediment accumulated in the bottom. And if it's in excess of 10% of that volume, in other words, it's some level of impact, then they would clean it out for the neighborhood to take over. And then I believe it's 5 years is the next, I think 5 years after construction and the subdivision is established, there would be another bathymetric survey to see what the rate of accumulation is. If it's, accumulating beyond that 10% threshold, then they would dredge it out. What we are expecting is it will probably never need dredged out based on the analysis we've done. So, but those parameters are in the O&M manual, and that is and the reason, of course, that's in there is because we're asking a variance not to have to do the sediment forebay, and we're explaining in the analysis why it's not necessary. So, hopefully that makes a little sense. Any questions on that?
So what we'll need to do, though, is as the Board of Works will need to approve the MS4 erosion control plan that's been proposed if the board finds that acceptable. And we can just do that by a motion and a vote. And we won't need to sign it because there isn't any place to sign it, but it will be in the minutes then that it's been approved.
And that would be, if you will, a conditional acceptance. It's talking about acceptance of the plan is conditional, the conditional acceptance contingent upon addressing the issues. I think that's what he just spoke of. Yeah.
Correct. It would be accepting the plan with the,
The testing is outlined.
correct,
Yes.
yes. Yeah, so not having that variance and then doing the, whatever Clem said, the type of testing but after the construction phase and then at the 5-year mark and all of that to make sure it's under the 10%.
I'll make the motion that we approve the final notice of the MS 4 plan review for Meadowbrook Phase 2, contingent upon the studies at the appropriate timeframes following and during construction of the sediment study.
I'll second that motion.
Ready for roll call?
Please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
So with that, the only thing left is the drainage. Once the drainage board accepts all their things and everything is completely finished, I want you to know that even though the construction plans have passed, no construction is going to go on because the funding hasn't been settled in yet. So that'll all be part of the process before they get started. You may see work being done out there, but what they're doing is they're cleaning the property. They'll be cutting trees. They'll be cleaning out shrubs and brushes and things of that nature where their streets are going to be going. So you may see that work, but you're not going to see any type of placement of streets in yet because it's not all completed as far as the funding process. So I just wanted you to be aware that nothing's happening yet or nothing will happen until that all gets satisfied. I do believe that I need an okay from the board that the construction plans are okay if we can move forward once the drainage has been accepted. All the requirements have been met with the utilities signing off and with the passage of or acceptance of the MS4 plan. The only thing left is the drainage. It's kind of the same process we did with the Plan Commission when they passed the primary plat with the exception of passage of this erosion control plan and the drainage board.
Okay. So essentially what you're doing is you're just giving your stamp of approval that everything has met the standards of the city, with the exception of the drainage board, and that they can move forward with their construction plans, correct, Don?
Yeah, once it passes the drainage.
Right.
Are you ready for a motion, Mayor? Yes, okay. I'll make the motion that we give approval to the construction plans for the Meadowbrook subdivision. Needed lists Phase 2, Don,
Yes.
specific to Phase 2, contingent upon the passage of the Drainage Board review.
I'll second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
The other erosion control plan you have before you is for the middle school. There are no variances on that, as everything they did was accepted by Westlers for that goes along with our stormwater requirements. All that information is in this packet that you should have. I'm hoping that you had, at least I gave it to do that. I know that Carol Jo does a tremendous job. So we need to have passage of the MS4. This does not have any variances with it. They met all the requirements that our standards require.
I'll make the motion that we approve the MS4 plan review for the middle school renovation project.
I'll second that motion. Roll call.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
All right. Thank you for that. Now let's get into a little ADA action. Tim is here to help us through the process itself. Basically, what we're doing tonight is adopting this implementation plan, and everybody now has the updated version that Alicia has given us to make the corrections and changes that were required. And so we're asking for this plan to be adopted. Once that occurs, then it sets in motion the actions of this plan. The plan is a plan that all city employees will be reading through, and they have to sign off that they've read through it. And then from year to year, if there are changes made in the plan, then once again, they have to go through and read through any changes or the plan itself and then sign off. The paperwork that they use on signing will go into their file, into their employment file. We keep a copy of it in our files also. And so it'll start that. It'll start a program here for all city meetings, and that is a voluntary survey that gets taken. We ask that everybody who's here this evening, before you leave, there's a survey, surveys outside on the case, glass case, that if you have time, if you could please fill that out. You only need to do it one time. So if you come to several meetings and you've already signed one, you don't have to do one again. It's like I say, it's a voluntary. There's no signatures on it. It just asks questions about you and your race and things of that nature. Here's the reason for that, is that we're required to be able to help all of the folks who live in the city of Frankfort. We got to know who they are so that we can take care of those things. You know, does it mean to have a Spanish website? Does it mean to have more things in Spanish? Does it mean, those are the type of things that this survey will help us lead through. So that's what is part of this implementation plan. I'm going to have Tim come up to make sure that I haven't missed anything. There are 3 places for it to be signed. On the very first section of it, the mayor signs, and I think that she signs that as a Title VI assurance and implementation. That basically says, hey, we need to have this taken care of before January 31st of 2025. And then back on page 15, there is a place for all board members to sign, and that is the Title VI assurances. And then on the very back of it, I think that Alicia will be talking about this, and that is an adoption of a resolution for this implementation. Tim, you've got anything that I missed out on?
I don't think so. Mayor, thank you, board. Don's pretty much done a good job of getting everything in front of you. He has questions on a regular basis, gives me a call. We walk through these things, so I'm pretty sure he covered everything that we need to cover at this point. So if you have any questions as you go through this, please ask.
I guess for my clarification, we've got on an agenda item the ADA notice and plan, but we're also reviewing a Title VI implementation plan. What is it you're wanting to address at this time?
I need to have this,
Title VI?
yeah, the Title VI adopted. Yeah.
Okay. Trying to get to the second page here.
So this one is not correct, or it is?
That's just in the appendix. So
Okay.
that's the same resolution.
It's the
It's
same
just
as
in
that.
the, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
so in the Title VI implementation plan, there is a copy of the resolution that's just in the appendix for reference. So that's the adopting resolution that we're going to pass tonight if the board so desires. And what that resolution says is that the Common Council appointed the ADA coordinator previously, and that we're now going to adopt the Title VI implementation plan. And so if that's something that you all want to do, that basically just allows this plan to go into action, and then it applies to the employees of the city of Frankfort. And so then we'll post the information on the website, and we can publish the non-discrimination notice, and we can adopt the plan. So that's the resolution, and we have it individually so that we can sign that, and then it's also in that implementation plan as well, just as a sample.
And I can tell you, we have advertised the Title VI. Yeah, the implementation plan, and I think that had to do with our non-discriminations. We also have it, and that's the new version, on our website now. It's on our website, as I sent that off to Kimberly this morning, and so it's now being posted on our website. Maybe a little ahead of time, but I was anticipating this to go well today.
And department heads, I don't know if your representatives came back and talked to you or not, did they? So we want every employee to read that plan and then also to sign off on that, so. However, it works best for you. I think we said the end of the month? Yep, by the end of the month. So they can do it individually, and then just sign off on it. I think there was going to be sent electronically. Did it? Okay.
Each board member took one with them, and they were going to use that. The fire department requested a copy or electronic copy, which I sent them. If everybody else wants to have electronic, I can happy to do that.
Just
Okay.
because Thumper's on night shift right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we have the plan, and then there's the forms that the employees need to sign off on within the plan.
Make sure I say this correctly, if you will, Counselor. I'll make the motion that we approve the Title VI implementation plan and the corresponding resolution for the city of Frankfort.
And Carol, what is that resolution number?
It is Resolution 24-01.
I'll second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, resolution 24-01 passes.
Mayor, I believe that is all that I have tonight. Thank you very much.
Joel Tatum, Parks Superintendent.
Good evening.
Hello.
I have some concert contracts to bring to the board tonight. The first one is for 90 Proof, which will take place on June 29th. I believe you got copies of the contracts in your packet.
Yes.
Yes. I had that. I'll make the motion. We approve the contract for 90 Proof for the entertainment date of June 29th. The amount is $1,800.
I'll second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, approval for that concert.
The next one is Cadillac Groove, which is on May 11th. It's our very first concert of the season, and it would be at a cost of $7,000. They're an R&B, funk, rock, and blues band.
I did have some concern over how early that is in the season because of the weather. Is there any way we can change that, or are we locked
I
in?
think we're locked into that date. Megan asked me a little bit, and I think we're locked in.
Yeah, because I
It
don't
is
want to
our first concert. It's kind of, we talked about it. It's kind of like our kickoff because that's when we plant all the flowers and everything, anyways. So that was
I just
kinda like
wondered because of the weather and it
Yeah.
being Mother's Day weekend and just,
it might Mother's Day weekend. I think it might actually bring a crowd. We'll see
yeah.
because people coming to town to visit their mothers gives them something to do.
Yeah. I talked to Greg a little bit about it, and I know he had some concern
Yeah.
as well, so.
The weather's always, Mother Nature's always funny. Just like we had the Fire and Ice Festival and it's 50 degrees
Yeah,
in February. So
so who knows, right?
you don't know. But we'll try it if you're okay with it. And then, I mean, we can move things around if it doesn't work for us.
I appreciate the initial thought and concern, and maybe looking forward to next year, we could have a specific start date
Yeah.
or something, or a blackout time period. But for this time, I'd like to approve the Cadillac Groove concert with their performance on May 11th. The entire contract price will be $7,000, and it sounds like a fun venue.
Okay, I'll second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, approval for that one.
Then our next one is, see if I can pronounce this right, the Naughty Yaki? Naughty Yachties? Yes, there you go.
Not yet.
On June 13th. And that's one of our downtown 2 nights. They're also a rock and blues band at a cost of $4,000.
I'll make the motion that we approve this contract as outlined by Superintendent, our Park Superintendent Tatum. Is that I'm just curious, is that like a yacht rock, or
That one I have no clue.
I hope it's yacht rock, that'd be awesome. Okay, but yeah, we'll bring him to town for $4,000. That's my motion.
Okay, I'll second it. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
And then the last one we have is Southern Accents, which is a Tom Petty tribute band on August 24th. And that's at a cost of $6,500.
I'll make the motion that we approve, I'm looking for it, Southern Accents Tribute Band on August 24th in the amount of $6,500.
I'll second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye, I'm sorry, I'm reading. And Joel, are these the expenses that RDC is
Yes, these-
contributing?
yep.
I think that's important to note that we're grateful to RDC for the
Definitely.
revenue to bring these to town.
Yes, these are all funded through the RDC.
No, don't know if everybody here realizes, but RDC does help with all the free concerts downtown at Prairie Creek Park. The ones on Saturday night, I think some of the tune nights, also some of that goes to the hot dog festival time. So we are very appreciative of the money that they've given us.
The next thing that I have is a property use application for the Christian Life Church for August 9th and 10th. They would like to do a community event at Prairie Creek Park, the whole entire park, and they would like the fees to be waived.
I'll make the motion, we approve the August 9th and 10th event for Christian Life Church and waive the fees.
I'll second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, that's approved.
The next one you actually don't have because I just got it a little bit ago. But I was contacted by the Girl Scout troop here in Frankfurt, and they would like to know if they could hold a lock-in at the event center at Prairie Creek Park on March 2nd and 3rd. They're trying to find cool places to spend the night, and they thought that would be a cool place.
At
So I
Prairie Creek
said,
Park?
yeah. So I said I would bring it.
The
and-
event center, I'm
Yes,
taking it.
yes, yes.
They're not going to put tents out there?
No. But they would like the fee waived too if we do approve it.
Okay, so they'll have access to the kitchen and
Yeah.
restrooms and all of that. Okay, that sounds fun for them. I'll make the motion, we approve the Girl Scout lock-in request for overnight on March 2nd and
Third.
to the 3rd.
Yep.
And waive the fees.
I'll second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Awesome,
Okay.
thank you. And then the last thing is just the department updates, and I just wanted to update you all that all of the decorations downtown are removed from the light poles. I'm sure City Light and Power will get the other lights soon if they haven't even started working on them. I'm not sure if they did today or not. But we did get all the poles undecorated today. All of the Christmas lights in TPA are down minus one display that was frozen still in a planter that we couldn't get out. So hopefully we'll be able to get that out in the next couple days. And then we also had the USDA show up to do an inspection of our petting zoo and aviary on January 29th, and we passed with no violations.
Congratulations.
So,
Thank you.
Great.
and then we'll be going through, we have to be reaccredited. So we'll be going through the accreditation process through the USDA here in the next few months.
Sounds good. Okay, thank you, Joel.
Thank you.
And Kimberly, you don't have anything for us tonight?
Draw a line through community development. Yeah, okay. Through your name.
Okay, HR, are you going to handle that for us, Carol?
Yes, we have an updated job description for the street department superintendent, Mr. Jason Forsyth. And the copy you have has the significant changes outlined in red so that you can see what has been added. Mayor, do you want me to go over those, or is that something you want to?
Do you want to go over them, or?
I just say, what's been added as what, this is basically updating from 2015, bringing it up to date on the various responsibilities that Jason has undertaken even since that time. So we wanted to make sure that he is up to date on everything required in his position. We were missing some key components in writing.
Yeah, you got, okay, see that real quickly.
So I'll make the motion that we approve the update of the street department superintendent's job description.
Yeah, I just wanted to put, just real quickly
Yes.
mention something, okay, including but not limited to employee responsible in charge, the ERC, that's something that we've added to that. And also the LTAP Master Builder program. So some responsibilities have been added to Jason's job description, and I will second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay.
I do have another job description. Cheryl Martin, upon review of the senior building inspector job description, did find that the status was incorrect on our previous copy of this, so she updated that to exempt rather than non-exempt. So we just wanted to get that through the meeting tonight so that we can have that properly recorded.
I'll make the motion that we approve the updated job description for senior building inspector.
I'll second that. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay. Anything else?
That's all I have.
Okay,
I think Alicia's up.
It's your turn.
You buckled in? All right, we'll start with the public-private agreement for Meadowbrook. So for the Ready Grant process, because Meadowbrook is eligible for the Ready Grant, the state of Indiana is awarding $1.5 million toward that housing project. And in order to do that, the city of Frankfort has to execute a public-private agreement with the developer of that project in order to receive those funds, because the city of Frankfort will actually receive the funds, and then those will go to the developer as they are working through the project and completing the project. And so I have a public-private agreement that we have been working on, and the developer, Wildcat Resources LLC, has also had a copy of that, and they have actually already executed it. But if it meets your approval, it would need to be approved so that we can continue with the Ready Grant funds, and it needs to be approved prior to awarding the bids for that project. Yes. Closer? I'm already so loud. Okay.
Thank you. This is a great document, Alicia. I'd like to offer the motion that we approve tonight the public-private agreement, which is the city of Frankfort, Indiana, for the Meadowbrook Phase 2 project, and between the city and Wildcat Resources LLC.
And I will second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, and then there's just one spot to be signed on that agreement, and then I will get a copy to the developer. So there's that. And then the second thing that we will need to do is we received bids for the Meadowbrook project at the last meeting, and I have gone through and reviewed all of the bids and done a bid tabulation. And I've also got recommendations on what the Board of Works should accept as far as the bids go. And after reviewing the bids, there were two different elements to this. The first one was for the streets, and the all three of the bid, there were three bidders. All three of the bidders provided all of the materials that we required. The lowest responsive and responsible bidder was Milestone Contractors LP. So my recommendation would be that we accept the bid of Milestone Contractors LP. And I will note that there were there was a base bid and then two alternates. And I spoke with the developer today, and they are still ironing out exactly what they would need to do. So there will be a contract that will follow this, and that will need to be approved at the next meeting. So today we would award the bids, and then once we determine with the developer exactly what the project will fully consist of, that will be included in the contract, which will be awarded at the next meeting. And so there was a sample contract that was included with the bid packets, so all of the bidders should have been able to see that. But so today, my recommendation would be that we award Milestone Contractors LP for the streets bid as the lowest responsive and responsible bidder. That's in the,
So we're good. Okay.
Yep.
Are we taking these one at a time?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I'll make the motion then for the development in Meadowbrook subdivision Phase 2 for the streets. We award the contract to Milestone Contractors.
I'll second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay. And then the second piece to this was for materials, and there were 2 bids for the materials. One of the bidders did not provide all of the required materials that we had requested, and they also did not provide a complete bid. So the lowest and responsive and responsible bidder was F&K Construction, Inc. And so my recommendation would be that the Board of Public Works and Safety accept the bid of F&K Construction, Inc. for the materials.
I'll make the motion for the bid for Meadowbrook subdivision Phase 2 for for materials. We award the contract to F&K Construction, Inc.
And I will second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay. That takes care of those bids. And then the next thing that I've got is I've got an interlocal agreement between the City of Frankfort and the Area Plan Commission, and I had on the agenda that it was BZA, but that was actually wrong. But
With the city, right?
it's with the City of Frankfort and the the Clinton County Area Plan Commission. And what this interlocal agreement does is it essentially allows the Area Plan Commission to administer the city's building code and unified development ordinance for county-owned structures within the city limits, so that when they're doing their projects that are their buildings, that they can just permit and inspect their own buildings, and we're not doing it for them, because they do have their own, their own group of people who are well-equipped to do that. And so this would be buildings that are within our jurisdiction generally. They would be following our ordinances, but they would just be doing the administration of all of that. And I did have Jay look at this for the Area Plan Commission, and he did make some edits to it. So I did get that reviewed and revised by the Area Plan Commission before bringing it here. So, and they are fine. Jay was fine with it.
And then it'll go before area plan.
Yes, Area
at their
Plan.
next- Okay,
Yep, they'll have to approve it as well,
okay,
and they have not approved it yet.
okay.
But I don't anticipate any problems. So.
I'll make the motion that the City of Frankfort approve the interlocal agreement between the city and the Clinton County Area Plan Commission.
I'll second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, the IU Health contract has been fully executed, so that is completed. We did get that all finished up, so I just wanted to let you know that. I have that release of claims. Did you want me to bring that up today?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Okay. So I've got I provided you a settlement agreement and release of claims between the city and Austin Walker for your review. Did you guys have an opportunity to look at that?
Yes.
Did you have any questions?
No questions.
Okay, I did I don't know if Carol sent it out before or after I made the change, but I did make a change this morning. So, but that was to whom the funds would go. So
They got it, the after
they got
copy.
the updated one. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Okay, so that will need to be approved if you guys would like to do that.
I'll make the motion that we enter into the settle agreement and release of claims between the city and Austin Walker.
I'll second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, and then did you want the housing agreement, the Envoy one, to come today?
Kimberly, what were, the housing agreement? Were you ready?
Do you want to bring that up?
Go ahead.
Okay. Envoy had a housing agreement for consulting services to do a study for housing needs and for parking. And I reviewed that contract and it was fine. There was one change I would recommend, but I don't think it's a big one. It was just they had the venue in Hamilton County, and I'd change it to Clinton. But if we were to end up in court, which I highly doubt we would be, going to Hamilton County isn't a deal breaker. We can go a couple of counties over, so it's not that big of a deal to me, but I wanted to bring it to your attention. But if you all are in favor of that agreement for the parking study and for the housing study, we could go ahead and approve that today, if you wanted to.
Yes. I'll make the motion that we enter into the agreement for services with Envoy to conduct the parking study, demands and policy study, as well as the parking study and the housing study. And also would like to acknowledge within the motion, or doesn't have to be within the motion, but acknowledge the generosity of the Community Foundation of $20,000 awarded towards this project.
I will second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
That passes, and as you said, Megan, we're very appreciative of the Community Foundation for the $20,000 towards this study.
Okay. Next thing I've got on my list, Mayor, you had asked me to draft a letter to MJV to terminate our contract for
Yes.
cleaning. So I have drafted that contract or that letter to terminate, and I'm just seeking approval so I can get that sent so that we can end that contract. It did have a provision that we could terminate within 30 days notice, so the letter would just provide that 30 days notice.
Okay. And do we need to approve that then?
Make the motion, we approve the letter notification of termination of contract with MJV with the city of Frankfurt.
And I'll second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay?
And it will terminate on March 14th, 2024.
Yep.
Okay.
Last thing I think I've got that's not new business because I guess I have two more things, sorry. We're sending a letter to Crawford Family Fence to get the pickleball fence taken care of. Just requesting that they get that completed. So I'm just asking for approval to send that letter to them. I put that in your email packets as well. So I'm just asking for approval to send that letter.
And Joel, you haven't heard any more from Crawford? Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you.
I'll make the motion that we approve our legal counsel submitting this letter to the Crawford Family Fence Company.
I'll second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, last thing. There were two people who contacted me about two different parcels that they were wanting to purchase. One is 409 West Boone Street, and one was 851 and 851 and a half South 3rd Street. I looked up both of those parcels and traced back how we came to own them, and both of them were from tax sale. So I was wondering if the Board of Works wanted me to pursue selling those parcels or if you wanted to hold on to them. But it appears that we acquired them through tax sale. So,
I believe those were parcels that were acquired when there was talk of doing a land bank.
yeah, I believe that's
So there
correct.
was a lot of interest from the city in any tax sale property at that time.
Right.
Mayor, your preference?
I would be fine, since it came as a tax sale, nobody like donated them to the city or had any specific use for them, so I would be fine with going ahead and having Alicia move forward with that.
Okay.
Let that be a motion, and I'll second that.
Here we
Okay.
Did you
Okay.
get that, Carol?
Alrighty, I will work on those then. I guess you guys got to vote.
Oh,
Ready for roll call?
yes.
Mayor Sheets,
Aye.
Megan Sheets,
Aye.
Okay,
All right. I think that's all in my section.
it's all in your section. Okay. One thing that I have is Heather's Flowers has a refrigeration trailer on the east side of her building, and she wanted the 12th through the 14th. And it's something we've allowed to happen in the past, and I don't know of any problems that we had, so I think we just need to ratify letting her put that trailer there.
Yes, I'll make the motion. We ratify the approval that we've made for Heather's on the dates of, was it the 12th through the 14th?
12th through the 14th.
Yes, for the trailer on the sidewalk, placed strategically so that it's not in the way of neighboring businesses and
Yes,
so forth.
yes. Okay, I'll second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, is there anything else under unfinished business? Okay, new business, JC's award presentation. Joel? And Brandon.
So I'm the president of the Frankfurt JCs as well. Brandon's the vice president. There you go. And we started a couple years ago giving an award to a sponsor that we felt like has really helped us out over the year. So for 2023, we've actually chosen the city of Frankfurt as our sponsor of the year. For all the help that you do with the fireworks, the fire and ice, distinguished young woman, purchasing our new firing system for us for the fireworks last year as well. So we thought it was only fitting that we awarded to the city of Frankfurt for 2023.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I think whatever you got, the firing system, does it make you feel safer?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. And we appreciate all that you do for the community. We're
Thank you
very
very much.
fortunate to have you take care of the fireworks. Fire and Ice is a great event, so many great things go on from
And the firing system was used on Saturday for the Firing and Ice Festival as well.
I even got to try it out, remember?
Yeah,
Fourth
you
of
did.
July.
You got the photos.
Thank you so much. Okay. And I think Sam Payne is coming the next meeting on the 26th. And then the landscaping bid for Old Stony. I know it's in here somewhere.
There's a notice and then a sample contract.
Is this it?
Yes, that's it.
I do not have my glasses.
Yep,
You know I
that's it.
can't see, right?
That one.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to say about that, Alicia?
This is basically the same thing that we did last year, just for landscaping of Old Stony, and then also, I think it's for the areas around, like the signs and stuff as well.
The city entrance signs.
Yeah. Yep.
So is it included in this, or is that a separate one? I thought.
I read it's a separate.
that's
The
what
other
I
one.
thought.
Sorry, the
Yeah.
other one has that. Sorry, there are two. There's the landscaping one that's around Old Stony, and then we have the watering and the pest control, which is the which is around the signs. So,
That's what I thought, but I
Yep.
wasn't sure.
yeah, so we've got 2 of them tonight.
We have so many.
I know, I know, been busy. But so that's for the lawn mowing, the trimming, edging and mulching, installing the flower beds, and then fall bed cleanup, irrigation, and then the fertilization and all of that. And then there's a sample contract as well. So once we do get the quotes for that, then I've got the contract ready to go. So we'll just plug in who it is and the price. So we need a motion to approve the invitation to quote so we can get that taken care of. And you can either approve the contract today or we can approve it later. It doesn't make a difference. You'll have to approve it once it's all finalized anyway, so.
Okay, so it's going to be published, and then
And then we'll get,
and we also reach out for bids as well, right?
absolutely, yep.
I don't know, we might want to send something or get a hold of people that have helped us with that in the past.
I'm looking over something real quick here. The independent contractor agreement, it lists the green space located at the entrances to the city.
Oh, that maybe shouldn't be in that one. That should be in just the watering one.
Did we move that out of one into the other?
Yeah,
We might
this
have.
had always been with Old Stone.
Yes,
hadn't it?
but it's been with Old Stony. So the invitation for quotes,
So we maybe need to move that into the invitation for quotes with the lawn mowing.
yes.
Okay, I can do
Yes.
that. Yep.
With the,
Okay.
The green space portion needs
Okay,
to be
so I
in
got that
addition.
in the,
Yeah.
okay, so we just need the, so the area to be served is the, Old Stony and then also the, state highways or the, green space
the entrance.
located at the entrances of the city.
We
Okay,
have 3 of those.
North, south, and east sides.
got it. Okay. Entrances, okay.
With that adjustment in the invitation for quote, I'll approve the invitation for quote for the 2024 season maintenance contract for the Old Stony and the entrance green spaces.
Okay, I'll second that. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets?
Aye.
Megan Sheets?
Aye.
Alicia, will I send that out
Um,
for publication, or will you?
it doesn't make a difference to me. What do you want to do?
I can do it.
Okay, I'll get it to you then, once I make the change. Okay, and then I need to make that change. Okay, and then send to Carol. Got it. Okay.
Okay, then next we have the downtown watering bid, I believe. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, and that one does not have the north, south, east, west, but it does have the pesticide application for Prairie Creek Park and then the state highways within the designated area for the 2024 summer season is what we had last year.
So it mirrors what we did last year, is what you're
Yes.
saying? Okay.
Yes,
Okay, so this is the watering the hanging baskets,
correct.
134 hanging baskets.
And then fertilizing all the
and
plants.
50 flower pots, 9 planters along the creek bed inside Prairie Creek. Is that right, Joel?
150?
150?
150, okay.
How many?
51, okay.
51 planters, okay.
Okay, so wait, there's 51 flower pots? Yes. And then, okay.
Oh,
Are there still, okay. Are there
okay.
still 9 planters then? Yes. Okay,
Okay, we're still have 9
okay.
planters.
So this
Okay.
is 150, 51. Okay, I can update that.
As for the 144 days beginning May 13th, and then does it have a closing?
Yeah, so it doesn't have a closing day because they add a day every day it rains.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so is how it reads. So basically, it starts May 13th, and then every day that it rains, they just add a day on the end, so it doesn't
Okay,
end specifically any day.
okay.
I suppose if it's very rainy, it would end early. But
Okay, so with those corrections,
I think we also, what do you think, should add under request for proposal? It doesn't say anything about fertilization. It does in the contract agreement. but-
well, in the application of pesticide. So it's got
Okay.
the watering of flower baskets and potted plants, and then the proposal will also include an application of pesticide the last week of July and secondary pesticide application 2 weeks later.
Okay,
That's in the first paragraph. And then in the third paragraph, it says vendor will be responsible for watering and fertilizing all plants in the hanging baskets.
oh, okay, I see that. Watering and fertilizing. Okay. thank
I
you.
can change the language though if you'd like.
Could we do it says for watering of city flowers, comma, pest control and fertilization. Can we have that in the heading?
Yep.
Yep.
And
Okay,
fertilization. Yep, I can
just
do that.
for at a glance,
Absolutely.
verify. Okay,
Watering flowers, pest control, and yep.
and then this is going to be published, and then also either Joel or Carol, if somebody wants to reach out to
Yes.
somebody that you know might be interested, that would be good.
okay. I'll make the motion, given the suggested changes and corrections, that we approve the request for proposal for watering of city flowers, pots, and pest control and fertilization.
Okay.
I'll second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Okay. And then I'll get that to you also, Carol.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. The next thing on the agenda was the golf contracts. We actually don't need to approve anything for those. Both of those contracts were for 23-24. And so one of them went for both years. The other contract went for 1 year, but it automatically renewed unless it was terminated 30 days before the end of the year. And I don't believe we got any termination notice. So both of those should still be good for the 24 year. So we will need to do something, we'll need to start thinking about that toward the end of next year or the end of this year for next year, but we're good for this year.
Okay.
So
50/50 sidewalk.
this is pretty much exactly what we did the same as last year. The only difference, and I don't know that I sent that to you because I think I forgot to attach it, but I do have an Exhibit A, which is the American with Disabilities Act exhibit that will attach to the bids as well to comply with our ADA Title VI implementation plan that we've got. So I don't think I included that, but that's our standard ADA notice that we'll also include with the bid. And then this is the same notice that we did last year, just updated the dates. And I was asked to put it kind of in the middle of May, so that's why I picked May 13th.
Okay.
So I can change that if we'd like to do it sooner, but.
No, that sounds good. I'll make the motion that we approve the notice to bidders with regard to the city sidewalk projects for the year, for concrete contracts.
And I'll second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
I know it's here somewhere.
Looking for NTAC?
Yeah.
Do you need that?
Should be at the end.
Got it.
Yeah, okay. So next we have the NTAC amended contract, and it will supersede the previous one. Is that correct, right? And this is, do you have anything you want to say about this, Tim?
Thank you again, Mayor and Board. Yeah, what do I want to say about it?
Okay, it's super,
there's been a lot of things that have come up in the last couple months of things that you guys have asked for assistance on separate things outside of ADA. So Don and I sat down and had a conversation, then I came back to you, Mayor, and said, let's look at something, and it supersedes the original agreement, and then this one would be a not to exceed each month of so many hours to help you through processes of plan review, obviously ADA questions on top of, we'll continue to get your ADA transition plan completed, and then whatever else comes up in the meantime, we're here to help, just like we did on Saturday.
Yeah, inspections or whatever.
Correct.
Okay, okay.
I did make one little change that I don't know if I showed you. But to the payment terms, in your terms and conditions, you had that it would be paid 1/2 prior to the start of the project and the remaining 1/2 upon completion. Based on the fact that this isn't really a project-based thing, I changed that to within 30 days after a claim has been submitted.
That's
So,
fine, yeah.
Okay.
Normally the half is when we're
Yeah.
supplying materials,
Right.
so.
Right. So I just made that change. I just wanted to draw your attention to it because that's the only substantive thing I did.
Great, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I'll make the motion that we approve the updated Intect agreement. Let's see, and this new contract supersedes any previous contract language.
I'll second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, we'll get that approved. We'll get it signed and thank you. Okay, was there anything else?
I had nothing further.
I think that's everything on my list.
Everything on mine.
Didn't we do enough?
Yes. I know, keeping track of all this, so, okay, I'll take the motion.
I move we adjourn.
Okay, I'll second that. Thank you, everyone, for coming this afternoon. And I'll talk to you in a second. This is nice. Thank you, Joel. Thank you, thank you.